cam sprocket is of a cone design. You can see the camshaft here, and the tip or the end of the cam is a cone. There is a space or cutout for a woodruff key, but the woodruff key is not used in this application. You can see the cone, big end here, small end here, so it can only fit one way. And the reasoning behind all of this is so that when you put the timing belt on, because the camshaft is locked, you're able to the cam is able to move during the timing belt tensioning process. So you can see the timing belt is on the crank, water pump, tensioner, and the camshaft. And then you put the belt on. Not the belts. You put the bolt. You just put the bolt in a little bit to where the washer still spins. And now when you tension the belt or the tensioner, as the belt tensions, you can see the camshaft is able to move slightly, and that slight bit of movement is what keeps the timing in place, because again the cam is locked here, the pump is locked here, these bolts are all loose, so all of these pulleys are able to move slightly. Once the timing belt tensioner is tensioned, you tighten it down, and then you can do your final TDC adjustment with your crankshaft. You can move your crankshaft slightly. Again, the cam is locked over here, the pump is locked here, and then once the crank is in the right position, that's when you lock down the pump sprocket and the cam sprocket. And then you're 100% guaranteed that timing is correct. If all you do is make marks, there's a red mark here, somebody made a mark here, and there's a red mark here. So if all you do is put marks on it without using the locking tools, once you turn the tensioner, the pulleys will move. As you can see, if there's just a slight bit of pressure on here, that cam wants to move. Well, I'll show you when I rotate the sprocket or the tensioner. So if you're just making marks, you're not going to get timing 100%. Sure, the engine will run okay, or possibly, but over time, those marks, as the belt stretches, it'll be further out. So if you adjust it correctly, you're more likely going to be within spec for a longer period of time, if that makes sense. And then you pull up on the tensioner until the markers line up right down here. And you snug down the nut. Once it's snug, the tensioner won't move, and you can tighten it fully. What you want to make sure is that the tensioner arm is in its locking place. If that arm is not there, the tensioner will move over time. Now with the mirror, you can see the alignment notch, which is aligned where it's supposed to be. Now I didn't pay attention as to when I was tensioning how much these sprockets moved, but like I said, when you tension the bolt or the tensioner or the belt, these sprockets will move slightly. And with the camshaft locked, the pump locked, and all the pulleys free, you can see I can move the crankshaft, which moves everything, to do the final adjustment of the crank position. This will be hard to get on camera. Right about there. And at that point now, you want to lock down the cam and the pump. Rotate 2 turns, make sure that your tools fit back into place, and that's it. once the belts are back on altogether, this is the vacuum fill. You've probably seen one of my other videos. You close the valve here, put the system under vacuum. The hoses are going to start collapsing. See, all the hoses are collapsed. And you just see if it's holding vacuum. If it holds vacuum, you know you have no leaks. Should be good enough. Then you open the valve and let coolant get sucked into the system. And you can see the hoses are going to start to inflate. There's the coolant here. Hoses are starting to expand. When I get to the end, I suck a little bit of air so that the fluid level drops. Yeah, it should be good. And then I can start it up and wait till the fan comes on and thermostat obviously opens.